Sergeant of Arms Murfitt, will you please admit U.S. Representative Zinke into the House chambers and accompanying him to the podium?
On Monday, the legislature welcomed members of our congressional delegation, the new Chief Justice, and Fort Peck Tribal Chairman Justin Grayhawk Sr. to present their formal addresses.
Every decision I make will be made through the lens of what's best for the people of Montana, what's best for the American people.
I want to make sure that we are setting a new bar in constituent services.
To listen and learn from each other is just as important today as it was in 1972.
We welcome legislation that addresses and resolves policy problems in our midst, but I urge you to reject legislation that will undermine the effective functioning of the judiciary, not because judges don't like it, but because it will ultimately harm Montana citizens. So in conclusion, I thank you for your gracious invitation to share my thoughts on the state of the judiciary. Now it's time for me to get back to doing my job. I leave you here with the assurance that I will not try to do your job.
The full session can be found on MPAN's YouTube channel or the legislature's streaming archive.
As I open the discussion on House Bill 371, I am going to make a statement that we will all agree on. This is a very controversial bill.
The House debated mRNA vaccines on the floor this week.
The thing about the mRNA vaccine is that it's enveloped by lipid nanoparticles. Therefore, it can actually distribute throughout the body. On a regular vaccine, you get a shot in the arm. That weakened or dead virus is located in that area. It does not spread anywhere. Your body attacks it, builds antibodies, and that's how that vaccine works. The mRNA vaccine actually can penetrate the blood-brain barrier. It can go into reproductive organs and settle pretty much anywhere in the body.
In the event of an outbreak of deadly Ebola, Montanans would be prohibited from receiving the vaccine without traveling out of state.
I actually have to suppress my immune system because otherwise my immune system would destroy my body. If I get COVID-19, I have a very high chance of being put out on a ventilator or dying.
After COVID hit and after all my patients started getting COVID vaccines, I saw a very extraordinary rise in recurrent cancers that had been in remission for 15, 20 years.
COVID is 393 times more deadly than the vaccine. We're being asked to adopt a public policy that promotes what? It promotes death.
These vaccines do not do what they claim to do, and they do things that they claim they don't.
This is bad policy. This bill needs to be parked in the red parking lot.
Those in favor of the motion vote aye. Those opposed vote no. Are there absentee votes?
None, Mr. Chair.
Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change his or her vote? If not, the clerk will record the vote.
House Bill 371 failed to pass on a 34-66 vote.
The Senate will come back to order.
The Senate kicked off the week working late into the night on several procedural motions addressing how bills are moving through the committee process.
Is there discussion on the motion? Senator Cashmore.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move this bill. This was transmitted to the Senate on January 21st. I don't know why we would hold bills. I would think we should get them out to the committee, get them scheduled for hearings, and not be holding up any House bills so they don't hold up our Senate bills.
I think the goal is to make it look like there's been nefarious deeds done with House bills by leadership to try to discredit leadership and then make a further decision to get rid of leadership.
So when we get a bill, you schedule it. This is the process. So Senator Kazmaier's motion is completely in order. So I ask that you support these 20 motions.
I'm going to support these motions, and I see this as an attempt to just get us working and make better use of our time. I don't think there was any allegation of nefarious intent by the president or the leadership.
And really, like I said, there's no rush. Lots of bills are dying in the meat grinder, just like mine tend to do, right? So I think we have time. Like I said, if we're doing this 20 times tonight, I'm probably going to say this 20 times tonight. So we'll be here for a while. I hope you ate before you got here.
All those in favor of the motion vote aye, and those opposed vote no.
Mr. President, 27 senators vote aye, 23 have voted no.
I'm not accusing anybody of anything doing nefarious. This is about referring bills to committees so the chairs can properly schedule their meetings.
It's okay. We'll have time. We're not going to be in a rush. As I said, bills are dying in the meat grinder. I think to give these bills a better hearing, we should do it when there's better weather, when people don't have to drive in the weather. I don't know if you've looked outside today. You should. Again, there's no rush. There are lots of bills are dying in the meat grinder, like mine do. And I hope you ate before you got here.
It seems like there's been a lack of conversation. It's just a surprise on the floor, and the 27-23 number keeps occurring, which kind of shows everything's kind of been pre-planned out. Do we have to do this 17 more times, or can we have a civil conversation?
If not, Secretary, record the vote.
Mr. President, 27 senators voted aye, 23 voted no.
This is a House bill, another House bill. We have time. There's no rush. Lots of bills are dying in the meat grinder, such as mine are. Again, I wonder if the chairs don't act fast enough for the 27, if we're going to be scheduling bills on this floor too. Why not? Again, this is unprecedented. This is strange. I'm not sure what's going on behind the scenes. I'm not going to say what I think, but it's odd. So you have to think something's going on, right? What's going on? We have time. There's no rush. I'm going to get up on each of these motions. I hope you had dinner before you got here. And again, I think maybe we should just make a motion to dissolve committees. I think that's probably, is that a substitute motion? I'm not going to do it right now. But
I've heard lots about scheduling bills. I've heard lots about other topics. I've heard about the weather. I've heard about other things. If we're staying to the motion is to refer. If we want to play this game, I'm used to working 24-hour shifts, so we can do it. So I'm here to move along.
This is important work we're doing here. I don't know if anybody really feels like it's important, because there are a lot of people who are acting like it's, I don't know if it's first grade or second grade, I'm not sure. But that's okay. Mr. President, you can put an end to this. You can put an end to this right now. And I suggest that you do. Thank you.
we could do this all night, and it is important work, and that's why we should talk about it. This is unprecedented. This is outside the norm. This is not how we do things. Referring House bills to committees at 7:30, really? Come on. That's what's ridiculous here. And again, if you don't want to debate the motion, you don't have to punch in or be here, okay? By the time we're done, maybe I'll be in second grade. Thank you, Mr. President.
Speaks to my next point, Mr. Chair. This is a dilatory motion designed to obstruct the workings of the Senate, designed to obstruct individual legislators, individual senators' ability to get bills drafted, to get them to the floor, to even get them submitted, much less get a hearing before transmittal, Mr. President. And I would ask that you rule this motion out of order because it is dilatory and designed to obstruct the work of the Senate. Mr. President.
Members of the committee, these motions are in order. I'm following order business number 9 motions. Everybody gets to debate. I'm taking it just like motions.
And this isn't about Dems or Republicans or deals being struck. It's about a majority in this body doing what we think is right to get the business, to have business continue to move and get bills moving.
These motions were very simple motions to get bills moving. Had these bills not been sitting for the last 6 weeks, we would not be here tonight.
So if someone's watching, wondering what we're doing, I'm more amazed that somebody's watching us at 8:45 at night. I mean, that's a testament to somebody's character, and I applaud you. So if you're watching and you're interested, so again, this is very abnormal.
Our State of the State with the governor was January 13th. January 13th, the governor said to us, please bring me some property tax relief. Put it on my desk by mid-February is what he said. And he said, I'll sign it right away. And we're 4 weeks later and nada. We're at a logjam.
Why are certain people in this chamber just being puppets?
After much debate on several motions, the Senate adjourned at 9:20 p.m.
And I'd like to say goodnight to my mother, and you can go back to watching real stuff on Netflix. This was just as entertaining, though.
If we choose to end the program that provides our low-income citizens with a pathway to getting healthy, a pathway to getting help with addiction, and a pathway to prosperity through employment, I think we're going to pay for it down the road, and I think it's going to cost the state a heck of a lot more than we pay with this program.
Medicaid expansion made its way to the Senate this week.
The federal government is up to its ears in debt, and we know that things are changing. Things have been changing rapidly.
They're looking at cuts. They're looking at spending too, which is unfortunate, but Medicaid might be part of their cuts.
This is extremely low fruit. They give us $900 million to run this program every year.
The Montana Medicaid model is a major winner.
Without rural hospitals, I don't think my dad would be here. Without things like Medicare or Medicaid, 13,000 people in Indian communities like my dad would go without things like basic health care costs.
While I was at work, my appendix exploded. Ended up with a hospital bill, I think at that time of, I don't know, $20,000 or $25,000. I ended up having to file bankruptcy because, you know what? That's a bill I couldn't pay.
The result of this policy, notwithstanding its monstrous economic consequences, will be the state taking control of many of our life choices and being forced to ration health care.
Are there any absentee votes?
None, Madam Chair.
Has every member voted? Does any member wish to change his or her vote? If not, the clerk will record the vote.
After the vote, a successful motion was made to re-refer House Bill 245 to the Finance and Claims Committee. You can track the bill's next move on the legislature's Bill Explorer. That's all for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the links below. Until next week, enjoy some lighter moments from this week.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for giving me that time to write this speech. The sponsor's opening has left a great shrimp impression. This entrepreneur proves nothing is shrimp possible. Life is butter with shrimp, and with this bill, shrimptastic times await. Shrimply, don't be shellfish. Sometimes shrimp happens. Keep calm and shrimp on, and have a Merry Shrimpmas. Thank you.
I think it's a great idea to be able to let new businesses come into Montana that are a little unique, and that's what we're all about, getting another agribusiness into Montana, and I see nothing fishy about this bill.
Mr. Chair, question for the sponsor.
Do you yield, Senator?
Yes, I do. It's getting kind of late in the day, guys.
Mr. Chair, Senator, just want to make sure this doesn't have anything to do with raw milk, does it?
Mr. Chair, Senator, other than it falls in kind of the same code section there a little bit.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good bill. I'm going to vote.